All right, guys. So this is Nicole. And I asked Amy to come on with me because I just want to have a conversation. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you guys to do is share this. Share. Share it. Just share it out. And let's actually have a real conversation for just a second. We're going to cover some things inside the summit as well, but I just want to have a real conversation. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm a God fearing woman. I love the Lord. The Lord loves me. I am a child of God. Y'all all need to claim it. Let's just start with that. I'm a child of God. You're a child of God. We are all blessed.
That's right. We are.
First.
Start with gratitude.
There you go. So remind yourself who you are and whose you are because you are a child of God. So I had a conversation with an entrepreneur today that was very passionate. It was very, very passionate. Again, share this out. We're going to have a real conversation right now. And the conversation went a little bit like, the entrepreneur was trying to figure out what he could do in his business. And he had concern about his employees and the current situation and the state of everything. Look, it is bad out there. It is. I mean, the virus is bad. What the capability of this thing doing, who knows, blah, blah, blah. But I need you to visualize and realize that this is only for a time and for a season. And if you do the work now and you prime the pump now, what does your business look like in 18 months? What does your business look like in 6 to 18 months? How can you be on the other side of this and also be a blessing to other people? This is your window in which to think about how you can help people, how you can really help them, how you can serve people. And at the end of the day, the economy does require some level of stimulus, some level of movement of cash from here to there. So people still have to be able to keep the lights on, keep water coming out of their faucet, and they still got to get groceries on the table. So it's going to require you to charge. I'm not saying you got to charge some crazy number. You can charge an extremely low, reasonable number, but you need to be a blessing to people. You need to be serving people before you ask for anything or before you charge anybody. So the conversation went a little like this. I'm not going to get into the person's specific business, but they are primed in a position to be able to serve people like nobody else. And at that time, the person I was talking to didn't see it the way I saw it. So they have a business in which they handle, let's say they handle deliveries. They deliver stuff. But they were concerned about staff. And I'm like, you are in the perfect position to be a blessing to so many people right now because you do deliveries. What is the world needing? Everybody is buying online. What does the world need? They need some stuff delivered. And you can do it. Your business can do it. There are other businesses that can do it. But again, you just need to put yourself out there so that the world knows that you're there. So how can you be of service to your community and be a service to your employees and help your business during this time? So there are companies right now, businesses, there's mom and pop shops that all they do is get foot traffic. People are coming in and out of that store. They're buying things in the store locally. They're buying stuff, but they don't have an online presence. They're not big like companies that have an online presence. So I was like, okay, so what if in this scenario, since this company does these companies, and you probably know some of these companies, you probably go to some of these companies where you're like, oh, I only buy my cookies from this place, and I only buy my, maybe it's a farmer's market. I only buy my eggs from this place, and I only buy my whatever it happens to be.
I'm just thinking of all the bakeries in the area. Hey, Renata, all the bakeries, even here in San Antonio, they have the ability to create some really great food, and they probably have the stock. And if we could get some of that stuff delivered in an easier way, that could really help a lot of people.
Right. How can I serve my community, and how can I help people, and how can I make money doing it? So in this scenario, since I can't get to the bakery because they don't want you going out, they don't want you going to the stores, what if you help that bakery get online? What if you help that bakery get a presence online? So what is it going to take to get that bakery online? Well, let's just talk about the stuff that's free. Facebook is free. Instagram is free. Twitter is free. TikTok is free. Snapchat is free. YouTube is free. I mean, all of this stuff is free. So since it's free, can you not explain to them they can get a presence online? They can work on maybe some keywords. You know keywords, baby. Why don't you tell them about keywords? So then that way they can start to rank, because everybody's at home in their house watching the news. Get people away from the news. Get them away from the bad news. Right. See how you can serve them. Somebody somewhere needs this baker's bread. Somebody does. Help him get the bread. You can deliver it. You're the man who can deliver it. You're the solution provider. Provide a solution. And so
not to mention, think of all those people right now that are out of work or cannot go to work. I saw on my feed the other day, all the schools are shut down right now, and the staff either is required to go to work and they're all mad, or they're losing their job. Not necessarily the teachers, but some of the support staff. And think of all of the abilities right now. You can go on hire, and if you have a skill, you could deliver something. You could offer an online skill. There's so much that you could do. There's people that don't know how to cook, and they're stuck in their house right now. Maybe you could give some ideas of how to use common household things, common things that you have in your fridge and in your pantry to create a meal for your family. There's so many ways that you could serve. And, there's so many online apps. There's Nextdoor. Don't forget about Nextdoor. Help your neighbors out. Yep. Yeah. And so, there's so many things that you can do. I know so many people are losing their jobs, especially people working in retail. They're letting those go. They're letting all the people, Delta Airlines just laid off over 50% of their employees. But right now, there are so many opportunities to be serving online. And it's just a matter of using, as Nicole and I were talking about, the creative side of your brain and going, oh, wait, that doesn't have to be so hard. Right. Don't make it harder than it has to be. I know we're a nation that is used to following instructions, getting a job, doing exactly what our job tells us to do. But right now, what we need to do is look at the problems and potential solutions and forget about all of the following instructions. Problems, solutions.
Correct. So I was like talking to this person, and they were on the analytical side of their brain. I was telling Amy before, I couldn't remember which one was the right and which one was the left. I'm sorry. I just couldn't remember. And then I was like, you need to get on the other side of your brain and figure out how to solve this problem. So you mentioned all the teachers. So for the teachers, there's a bunch of aides that are out there that, that have maybe potentially have lost their job. What if, there's other apps that are free. So there's FaceTime. FaceTime is free. And also Google Hangouts is free. So you're talking about videos. There's a lot of technology. A lot of the schools are letting kids check out technology. So what if you as a teacher's aide did some Zoom, well, not Zoom, because Zoom costs, but maybe you did some FaceTimes and or some Google Hangouts, which are absolutely free, with kids at home. For parents who have to go and actually go work, like the healthcare workers that have to go work at the hospitals, or some of the people that are working at the grocery stores that have to go work. Maybe you are a virtual babysitter. Maybe you are a virtual tutor. Maybe there is a way to do this. You have a gift, you have a skill. You have the ability to potentially find a solution. Maybe you had a passion about something. Some people don't want to show their faces. Then don't show your faces. If you've got a laptop, Google Sheets, you can create some kind of front end and you don't have to show your face. Maybe do a PowerPoint, but there's something that you can do virtually. People are learning to work out online. There's gyms that are putting together workout programs so people can plug in and do workouts from home. There are people that are doing school from home, like my kids right now. We had a whole conversation about the videos. Like we're gonna have to do something with the video, and so we did some video class. Like they got to see their entire class online for the kids who actually came on board, which was the solution for me, because I was like, look, I got a child that ain't sleeping. Somebody help me over here. And you've got people are going to the doctor online. If you are a mechanic, think about it. You literally could have somebody take their device, their cell phone or whatever, and go out to the car and say, turn on the car, open the hood, look at this thing right here. help a person. You can do some of this stuff virtually. You don't have to be next to them to do not all of it, just some of it. So you have to get out of your woe is me, the sky is falling, life is over, I'm not going to be able to go on. No, there are solutions out there, and there are communities that are willing to help you draw out of you that creative side of your brain to help you come up with a solution to your problems. There's all these hotel workers that are losing their jobs. The hotel workers, okay, all right, that's a tough one. But people need to learn how to look, I was making my own solution the other day for spray and stuff, like help people figure out solutions. How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I effectively clean my house without having somebody come into my house?
Or maybe you have to pivot. Maybe you're the hotel worker who just lost their job and you need to pivot. You need to tap into some other skill that you have. Maybe you're a great cook. Maybe you could deliver meals, whatever it is, but you need to maybe, pivot in for now. And the thing is, there's been a lot of talk about pivoting, and we need to remember, as Nicole said, this is a time and a season. And things are going to, now there might be a new normal, but things are going to get back to normal. We had somebody post saying, I'm from Bangladesh. Somebody post on this live saying, hey, I'm from Bangladesh. So, what about all of the people who live overseas, who are affected and are selling online, mostly to the US market? You are actually in an even better position than people that have been working at a hotel or something like that, because you already have an online virtual mindset of being able to deliver your skill or your craft online. So you already know how to be a freelancer. You already know how to do an online business. So let's talk about that for a minute. If you're in, Australia or India or whatever, and you're selling to the US market, I know recently Amazon stopped, deliveries of non-essential goods. But there are so many other, let's say that 90% of your goods are things that people aren't going to buy right now. They're going to buy them again in a couple of weeks. What are things that you could do right now? For example, I have a friend that sells products that are mostly for events. And, right now, all the events are being canceled. And so maybe their St. Patty's Day sales are going to go down the drain because, but what could that person do now? What could you do now to set yourself up? All of those events are being rescheduled.
Yeah.
How can you get in front of that audience even better? How can you set your business up so that when those events come back in? I saw Mark Cuban posted something on LinkedIn about Mark Cuban, the shark. He posted on LinkedIn about, hey, let's talk about solutions. What are you going to do? And somebody posted about how they had a tux shop and proms are all canceled and everything now with schools. And Mark Cuban responded, well, guess what? When summer comes and people are ready to start partying again, maybe you can set yourself up to help people make their parties a little bit more formal. Yeah. How could you pivot in your business or set up so that in the future, when people are ready to let loose and get dressed up again and celebrate again, you can be the one who provides them that joy. You can be the one that they go to. And so right now is your ability to think through, okay, right now I'm disrupted, but what can I do to set up for the future so that my business can be the one left standing?
Right. Interestingly, Amy, when you talk about freelance, that's one of the things I've been saying as we've gone through this transition up to this point. It's freelance is going to become a household word right now, because everyone needs to be able to, as you said, pivot and figure out what that skill set looks like, because whatever it was that you were doing, you're going to be able to continue to do it. It just may not look the same way. Some of the things, especially, even with us who have a freelance and or a virtual mindset, things are changing. The landscape looks a little different. So for me, all week long, that's what I've been doing. I've been pivoting here, I've been pivoting there, making changes. And as Amazon is saying, they're no longer accepting FBA shipments except for necessities. Well, then my thing is, okay, well, everything that I have here, what other platforms am I going to put that on? I'll give you an idea from this morning, but Canada doesn't have those same restrictions that we have. Canada FBA is wide open. And so as people are making the shift, you've got to look at where the opportunities are. And
Walmart, Walmart.com.
Yeah,
People cannot think about selling on Walmart.com.
But I mean,
Mercury,
platforms
eBay,
everywhere. All those things that I'm having to get back because Amazon keeps throwing me, all these different things that are coming up, different requirements. And this whole week has been paperwork because Amazon's changing things. But as that happens, I'm listing those same things. I know they're coming back. I'm creating those listings. I'm making drafts. I'm doing all kinds of things because I know that the need is still going to be there. Some of the things, especially small toys, now Amazon has a whole nother requirement for that. They're going to be people that are staying home with their kids that are going to want those things, and whether or not they're getting it from Amazon or I'm shipping it from home or I'm shipping it from a prep center, there's still a need for it. So it is essential right now that you not only look at the skills that you have, but you look at the resources that you have. What do you have around your house right now that you've been intending to get rid of? Either your kids have outgrown it or whatever, especially things that you have no need for. Someone out there needs it. And the only way they're going to get it is if you list it somewhere or you get on one of these platforms and let people know what you have. If there's a skill that you have, especially in a community, we talked about having a community mindset and giving back. No, my neighbors don't even know what I do. I moved recently. So it's like, get on the phone with them and say, hey, is there something that I can do to help you? We've got to get, this selfishness that we've been in, as U.S. citizens, everything that we've done has been about us. So now we've got to make a shift in our way of thinking and figure out what we can do to help others and how we can actually maintain whatever it is that we need while we're doing that. Really essential.
I love that. Thinking about really, you said two things, Renata. First, you said, how can I think about the way I was doing something physically before and think about a new way to do that virtually? That is number one. And then the second thing that you said is those of us that have these skills and know all of these avenues to list things and everything, why can't we empower our friends and neighbors? We can literally do an online training and say, hey, these are the different areas, the different places that I post my stuff to. I know we're doing the Inspire Virtual Summit right now. And I know Nicole's Summit's about to start. And the thing is, there's so much great information on there. We can invite people that don't understand how to have an online business to those summits so that they can learn that information and they can get some great stuff. I know Jess Hill right now is she's been posting all kinds of stuff about all these different channels to sell in and how to do it. She posted a merchant fulfilled guide the other day. That's the thing, is like, let's help each other get these things. I love you're talking about cleaning out your house. I can't even, I can look around this room right now and think, wow, I haven't used that in forever. I haven't even opened that. Like, there are things that people could really utilize. And it's just a matter of taking the time to list it. Not to mention the things that you're already selling that are eventually going to sell well again. How about setting those up to sell even better? Take this time to optimize your listings. Take this time to take better photos of your products. Utilize this time to set up better advertising campaigns, all of that, so that when we are back to the new normal, you're set up for success.
That's great. That's great.
And we've been teaching, how to sell on multiple platforms for years over here. That's what we've been doing. And we're gonna take some of our trainings that we already have, and maybe we're just gonna make them available to people so that they know, hey, we already have the trainings already done. We tell you how to sell on all those other platforms. But the other thing is, what I was trying to get him to see when I was talking to him, like, look, Satan comes to rob, he comes to steal. He comes to tell you, woe is me with everything that's happening right now. And I need you to know that you are blessed if you are above ground. You still have an opportunity to do the things that you need to do in your business. And that if you get into the creative space, whether you are, let's say you're a librarian and you were doing librarian work before. Okay, so you were getting paid by the city or you were getting paid maybe by a private school or something. Is there something that you can do online? There are parents that would love for somebody to read to their kids all day so that they can work.
Right.
You set up a subscription that you read books to kids online all day long so that the parents can work. Okay? I think about all these people who have just instantly lost their jobs. We talked about the bakers because we're in the e-commerce space. All of us, all three of us, we're e-commerce sellers. Amy does private label. Renata does retail arbitrage. I do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, multiple platforms. We sell. That is what we do. We have an e-commerce seller summit. We encourage you to sign up for it. But the point is that we want to help the community as a whole. Maybe you don't decide that you're going to do e-commerce, but maybe coming to the summit will give you some ideas to spur the creative side of your brain and help you to see that there are solutions out there. Don't let blessings and the gifts that you have go dormant because you're over here in anxiety land freaking out about what's happening in the world.
And
Go ahead.
And if you've been in anxiety land because you don't have a job, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity. As Amy was saying, make use of that time. Make use of that time. The summit is free. And if you're off work next week, you log in, you get ideas. But I can tell you from the e-commerce standpoint, where Nicole and I have said for years, e-commerce never sleeps. So this thing is going on. It's going to continue to go on, but you're gaining a skill. Whether or not you decide it's something that you want to do after your job comes back, that's non-essential right now, but you can gain a skill that you will always be able to use and be able to transfer in the event that another thing happens. We've been, saying for years, get another hustle while you have a job. And if you didn't do that, it's not too late. There is still an opportunity, and there still are things out there that need to be taught, that need to be done, that need to be sold, that need to be bought, and you can be in front of that. So as Amy mentioned, the big thing now is taking this time now not to stress out about it, but to spend the time either learning a skill or figuring out what you can do with that skill to put it together so that it can work for you and help the community.
And can we talk about cash flow too?
Yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to say, you're talking about the new normal. I need you guys to know that online is not going away. Like e-commerce is here to stay. It's not going away. If anything, it's going to double, if not triple, and it'll be here forever. So the new normal, Amy kept saying new normal. The new normal this is the reality. Everything will always be available at this point forward, forever and a day online. If
you've been an e-commerce seller and you realize now that things are changing, think about how it's changing in the scope of how it's going to help you, even, those people that you can help. My mom is here with me now, but she's never bought anything online. But think about those people that now are going to be pushed into a place where they have to figure this out. You're going to have brand new customers shopping online that may have never shopped online before. There's another opportunity, actually, setting up a senior center to teach these classes online, whether it's over the phone or whatever. You get people on in a space where you can instruct them what to do if they need to place an order. But once that's done, you're going to have a whole new community of people that may have never shopped online, and that's going to be the only way that they can get their goods. So don't get discouraged by what's happening now. Figure out a way to pivot and use it to your advantage and help the people in the community that are going to need these skills.
And even if it's not shopping online, it could be that things that wouldn't normally be online are now online. Going to the doctor, instead of going to the ER or going to the doctor's office, maybe right now we already know that there's services online where you can actually consult with the doctor. They can look in your throat. They can whatever online. So it's not just buying things online. There's going to be a boatload of stuff that's just going to be online services. What if you, auto mechanic, was the first one to set up virtual assessments of a car online? What if you, coach or teacher, whatever, preschool teacher, what if you set up virtual classrooms online? Like, just think about what you could establish right now and what it looks like 18 months from now. What look like 18 months from now? You were at the forefront, you set it up, and now it's here forever. Now you have an income stream and a legacy that you can leave for your family. So anyway, Amy, cash flow.
No, and I love that you said that. I think that the big stumbling block a lot of people run into is they say, well, I wouldn't know how to get started with that. And you right now, I'm looking at you, the person who's watching this and is saying, I wouldn't know how to get started with that. I want you to think about what could you do to serve for free right now. You're going to learn from that. So if you're the librarian, just read a story online. Just go and go, okay, I'm going to figure out how to go live on Facebook, and I'm just going to read a story. And that's it. That's all you have to do to get started. If
Right.
you're thinking of you being the auto mechanic and you're like, man, I don't know. How would that even work? I don't know. Well, what is keeping you from calling up your friend and saying, hey, I want to try this thing where, we look at your car together. Can we go online today together and do it? And we'll just post it and see how it turns out. It might be terrible, but it's fun. And we're both stuck in our houses anyway. So get started. That's all you have to do is just get started. And right now is a great time to just try it out and see. You never know it. All you have to do is just start. You don't have to get it perfect, or you're going to get stuck in analysis paralysis and you're never going to make it. So we want you to just get started. Don't be afraid to do that. And now with cash flow, I know a lot of people are scared right now. They're scared because they're like, man, my money source is cut off. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to feed my kids tomorrow. I don't know. Number one, the first important lesson for cash flow, ask for help, you guys. Not necessarily asking people for money, but ask your neighbors. If you're struggling and you aren't sure if you're going to be able to feed your kids, ask your neighbors. They might have an extra box of cereal. They might have something, and then for those of us who have a little extra something, reach out and say, hey, if anybody needs anything, contact me. I don't have a lot, but I'll give you what I have, right? So make sure that you're reaching out. That's the first part of keeping your cash flow steady so that you can help each other with supplies. Maybe people already have a surplus of a certain supply that they could help you out with. And then the second thing is with your cash flow, what you can do is the cut, reduce, keep strategy. So what I want you to do is go through your bank account, go through your credit cards. If you're a business owner, go through your QuickBooks. And I want you to pull your transactions from your bank or credit card statement or your accounting system. And for each item, write down cut, reduce, or keep. So write down a C for cut, a reduce, a R for reduce, and a K for keep for each transaction. And then go back through. And if you're going to cut it or reduce it, then start making phone calls to those vendors and spread that out amongst your team, whatever you need to do. But let's make sure that if we need to cut right now, that's a great way for us to just go through the list and see where our money is being spent and what we could reduce at this time or cut at this time to free up those resources to be able to get us the things that we need at this time.
Absolutely.
Right. I love that. I love what you said, Amy. But one thing that you're saying that people really need to take heed now is this is a great time to step out of your comfort zone and learn. You can't, think that everything is going to be perfect, but you can learn as you're doing this. There are going to be people that are going to walk with you through this because they need your service. So as you put something up, there's going to be somebody that raises their hand and says, yeah, I'll try that out with you. The other thing is reaching out. I mean, it's super imperative that we reach out not only to our neighbors, to the people that we know, but as you're saying, just put it out there. If there's someone in need, this is what I have to offer. And if you are that person in need, don't wait until you get into dire straits where it's harder for people to help you. Reach out, and let people know, hey, this is coming up and I'm a little anxious about this, so that people can kind of rally together and find out ways to help the people that are around them. It's super important that you don't wait until you're super bad off and then you're looking for somebody else to really dig deep to try to help. It's like if we all do a little bit, we can help each other now get through this, reduce the anxiety that everybody's having, and actually work together so that we can have some peace about all of this.
Right. And what I do want to keep in mind, like Amy had the cut, reduce, reduce or keep, and I love that.
I love it.
That are business owners, keep in mind that this may be an opportunity for you to figure out how you can adjust your business. The whole conversation, this whole started because I was talking to a business owner, and the first thing that they were thinking about was cutting their staff and reducing their staff. And that means that those staff members are going to go without whatever. And I said, is there a way that you can level up your business so that you can serve the community better, where instead of reducing your staff, that you end up growing your staff? Right. So it also requires, in addition to looking at the cut, reduce, and keep, it also requires you to expand your thinking. What is it that you're doing in your business that you could transition to be virtual or to be online? And maybe it's, sorry, the wind is blowing, and it's never been online before, but now it could be online, or aspects of it could be online, that you could introduce to the community and keep your staff or even grow staff and be able to hire people. What is it where you could potentially pivot? Some of you have access to storage or warehouse facilities or whatever. Maybe, again, you reach out to those brick and mortars, those stores that only get foot traffic and don't have online traffic. And maybe you say, look, we will drop ship your product. So now what you're doing is you're helping to keep your doors open, and you're helping to keep one of your stores that you know in the community, their doors open, because now you can drop ship the product and you can help them stay open, and they get to keep their staff too. So we're a community. We have to figure out how to serve each other, how to help each other, and still how to make money. Because if the money flow, if everybody is losing their jobs and everybody's giving everything away free, there will be zero money flow. And I can tell you, that's not going to look pretty for anybody. Like, it's really not going to look pretty for anybody. But if we can figure out how to help each other, how to serve each other, come up with solutions. I want to help my person over here. I've never done business with them. I don't even know them. I only see them because I go in there and maybe I buy their dog shampoo. They have a unique dog shampoo that they only sell. And so I want to help them by buying their dog shampoo. Well, maybe that dog shampoo needs to be online. And maybe you, because you have the ability to ship it to customers for them, maybe you are the conduit to help them to get it online so that they can keep manufacturing that dog shampoo or making it in their office or whatever, and you can ship it out for them to their customers. You got to figure out how to help and serve each other, how to be of service and love on your community. And that way, this is how we will all get through this. Because again, prime the pump now. Do the things now. Learn new things now. Get into your creative space now and begin the process of doing things ugly. Start it, launch it ugly, create it ugly, make it ugly. Just, it ain't going to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect video. It's not going to be a perfect explanation to anything. You probably have the wrong URL. You're using the wrong keywords, but just get started. And then over time, over repetition, you will get better. You will improve the situation, and you'll be like, okay, we came out the other side of COVID-19, and look at my business. Now, multi-million-dollar business that somebody wants to buy. Like, you just need to think of it more than just right now, because we're all in the right now. If people are hoarding stuff, I got to keep this, I got to keep this, I got to keep all of this. You know, don't take anything from me. No. we got to help each other. We got to stop freaking out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Pray about it. Remember that we are all here to be a blessing to each other. We are all here to be a blessing and helpmate to each other. That's what we're here to do. So do that. And do everything you can not to let the anxiety take over and drive all of your day-to-day decisions. Your day-to-day decisions for your family, the day-to-day decisions for your household, the day-to-day decisions for your business. Don't let anxiety be the driver. Get out of the news, like just stop watching it.
It's terrible. Yeah. I mean,
it's the apocalypse. I'm just waiting for zombies to start walking down. Okay, at this point, I'm waiting for
It did feel like the zombie apocalypse yesterday at the airport, you know, and it's hard to not be fearful. But you know what? It's hard to be an entrepreneur. And we're doing that. We do it every day. We swallow our fears every day and we move forward. And, you know, we can definitely encourage others, and we can definitely make it through this situation and come out the other side stronger and better, and, you know, even more awesome than we were before this whole situation happened. So I'm looking forward to the future. And I think that, you know, if we have some positive leaders like the three that are here, you know, in this live session, if we have, you know, 10 more like us this week alone that emerge and say, you know, and I've already seen so many people doing the same thing. So many great business leaders are offering free classes right now. My 10-year-old's taking a class on how to make merch. Like she's
Wow.
a t-shirt designer, like a famous t-shirt designer guy offered his class for free just this week. And so Mariah's at home watching that class right now, learning Photoshop, learning graphic design. How cool is that? Like, let's take, even if she never uses it, she's learned a skill, and it's a really cool opportunity. So definitely, take the opportunity. We just made our summit free for people this week, just so that, you can get after that. I mean, Nicole's presentation alone is going to make you really think about what's important in your life and your business. So, and then your summit is starting soon, and it's free. So it's like, come on, you guys, get out there, get after this information, and stay positive, help each other. I want everybody, my challenge to everybody today is find some way to help somebody else every single day from home. Yes. Find a way to help somebody else, whether it's just posting, hey, I've got some extra stuff. Hey, if you need to talk, give me a call. Whatever it is, find some way every day to help somebody else.
My challenge to anyone that's watching, I'd like to extend one as well, is to get out of the news, get out of your head, learn a new skill. Spend this extra time that you've got figuring out what it is, something that you've always wanted to learn how to do, or something that you know that you need to know how to do because you're not going to be able to go out and do it anymore or get someone else to do it. Learn a new skill. Do that today.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up because I only have my recommendation. One, I would love for everybody to get registered for the summit. It is www.ecomsellersummit.com. Again, www.ecomsellersummit.com. Even if you don't want to sell on Amazon or eBay or Walmart or Shopify, it at least can walk you through some of the things that you need to think about if you're going to increase an online presence or transition your store to be online. The other thing is, I really want you to think about, what did you want to be when you were that 7-year-old or 6-year-old or 5-year-old? What did you want to be? Because that possibility still exists, and we have to still dream, and we have to still hope, and we should still be praying. So I just want to encourage you to pray for everybody that you know. Pray for yourself, pray for your family. Remember to hold on to hope, and remember to dream, because again, when you were little, I want to be an astronaut. I want to play basketball. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay. Some of you have taken jobs and you let your dream die. You let your dream die because you had to pay bills and keep the lights on. Well, today, maybe somebody said, don't come back to work. So how can you think about your dream that you had as a little child and figure out how to long-term monetize that dream? If you wanted to be an artist, if you wanted to be a great piano player, if you wanted to, I don't know, teach little girls how to be presidents of the United States, whatever it happens to be, I want you to dream big today. I want you to dream big because it's still possible.
Definitely.
Now, what does your world look like? All right, that's it. We're done. We ranted. I want to rant some more.
Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Hey, have a great day. Bye.